So we have determined our 16th valve is the one that needs to be replaced. In order to do that, we have to close the valve on number 12 here. We do that with this, and that will isolate our valve that we will be replacing. Here we are at the valve on 16. You can see that it's leaking a little bit. This valve is currently isolated. We found that it leaks very bad when it's open, so we've determined it's the first valve we're going to fix. Here you can see what it looks like before around this area. We're just on a seldomly used maintenance path, so we don't actually need to cut any turf off or set up plywood to shovel our dirt on. We'll just make our pile over here out of the way, and we'll check in once I've done some excavation. As you can see here now, we're getting the hole dug here pretty good, throwing the dirt off to the side out of our way. And our valve box is loose now, so we should be able to take that out. There we go. That exposes the handle of our 3-inch valve. Now we just have to dig a little more in order to get down to the pipe and get everything nice and exposed to put in our new 3-inch valve. Here you can see a little bit of water dripping out as we get the pipe exposed. There you can see where we think it's leaking from, right where the threads meet the actual valve. So now we have our pipe completely excavated. As I had mentioned in the plan, made a wide enough hole that we can work in. We're going to make a cut right in here to take the valve out, and we're actually going to be able to reuse this bang on. So to get that side out, we'll just tap that bang on back, and we'll be able to fit a whole new piece in here and reuse our bang on. Just cut the valve out using the Sawzall, and it's emptying water into the hole now. So here you can see I'm lubing up the pipe to try to knock the old bang on off after I cut the valve out. This unfortunately wasn't successful and it was seized, so we cut this portion of pipe out, and I was going to use a completely brand new bang on. Another thing to note here is digging in that sand, how quickly the water drained from our hole. We're back in the shop now building our new valve. That's the new valve. These are our 3-inch male adapters. Screw into the valve. All you do is thread tape them and then screw them in. You get them as hand tight as possible, and then we use these channel locks to snug them in the rest of the way to ensure our valve doesn't leak from the threads. This video clip just shows that even after going back to the shop and building our valve, it was still putting out a little bit of water. We're preparing to glue our valve in, so we have to take our file off any burrs before we glue. Using our primer and our glue, I was able to glue this new valve in, pushing it in sideways and then giving it a rotation to make sure that it was nicely beaded all the way around, and our valve is pointing straight up so it'll be accessible in the valve box. When using these bang-ons, you have to make sure that the edges of the pipe are beveled in order for the gasketing in the bang-on to slide over the pipe. After the edges were beveled, I was able to slide our brand new bang-on simply by putting some lube on the pipe, as you've seen how I did before, and tapping it into the place. The final step in putting this valve on is hitting the bang-on onto the other piece of pipe. We have them cut so they're going to be perfectly matching with a very small gap. In order to put the bang-on, you'll just tap that over, but with our limited hands we won't get actual video of me doing it. So we had some issues with the bang-on. As you can see here, we ended up having to cut it back out. I tried to bang it on using the method I showed. It wouldn't go on. My superintendent Jared tried to bang it on. He couldn't get it to go on either. So we ended up going with a telescope. All we did for that was cut this section of bang-on out. We measured the length of the telescope just inside to that line there. It was 19 inches, cut out a 19-inch section, glued on our coupler and our telescope, and then extended that onto the pipe. We didn't actually have any video of me doing that because we were kind of in a hurry to get our water on, as it's been down for a couple days while we've been fixing many leaks. But anyways, we have our new telescope on there, connected to our new valve that is replacing our old leaking valve, as you've seen in the beginning of the video. Now all I have left to do is put the cable underneath the pipe and backfill it. That's how we replace valves at Pine Hills. So as you're backfilling, I like to throw in a couple inches of my dirt over here and then pack it all back down so we won't run into settling issues after. You have to make your valve box level, which we're about to be at here, so we'll put this on and see how it looks. There we go. Valve centered in there nicely, and we can see we're at an acceptable height. So now we just backfill her up. There you can see our new valve is in place. Our hole is backfilled, and we can put her to bed. Perfect. Thanks for watching me replace this 3-inch valve at Pine Hills Golf Club. I hope you found it interesting or it was able to help you in some way. Thanks.